The show, well, those are your own. But just keep in mind that the views, information, or opinions expressed on the Tuddle Daily Podcast are solely those of the individuals involved and do not necessarily represent those of our sponsors. Yeah, it's called free speech, people. Nobody's forcing you to listen. Get ready for your daily dose of Tuddle.
The all-time greatest intern/producer we've ever had, of course, Tuddle. Tuddle in Florida.
From the Hobo Fish Camp, it's the Tuddle Daily Podcast.
No wonder nobody likes you, Tuddle. Everything's a goddamn debate.
Hey, what's up, guys? You know, I hate, I'll say it again, I hate doing shows. You know, let me just get rid of the music. I hate having to do shows like this, but it's something that has to be talked about. Welcome to the Tuddle Daily Podcast. I don't want anybody to think I'm going to make the whole show about this. I'm not going to politicize it at all. And once again, another mass shooting here in the United States. 14 elementary school students were shot and killed today in Texas, in a small little town outside of San Antonio. And I'll give my opinion, but one of the things that has always been so great, the thing that I loved about talk radio, I worked at the first FM talk radio station in the United States. I was working as a part-time person at Real Radio 104.1 when 9/11 happened. I've been through a lot of these big ass things that have happened in the news. And the great thing about talk radio is to be able to give the people that listen to the show, the people that, in this case, listen to the podcast, a platform just to be able to come on and discuss things. And I don't want anybody to think that I'm going to debate you because you have a different opinion than mine. I want this to be a space where people can call in and just talk about this. Because it is something that needs to be talked about. And the number is scrolling across the bottom. Well, Atomic Citizen, I mean, I gotta disagree with you. Some talk radio, and I'm not talking about political news talk radio. I'm talking about entertainment, just run-of-the-mill, straight down the line talk radio. People that want to, because Atomic Citizen 865 says, fuck talk radio, a bunch of posters and voiceovers. I mean, I'm not debating you on this. But I would like to hear from some of you guys. If you're parents, I would love to hear from you guys. I would love to hear from you, and because this was a bunch of elementary school kids, this 18-year-old kid, and now the news is coming out. You know what, Iggy T? I'm going to get to that. No, nobody ever knows what really is the motive. But I would love for you guys to call in, because if you're parents, I would love to hear from you guys and hear what you're telling your kids. How early do you have to talk about this? How early are you supposed to talk to your kids about this? Because this is elementary school kids. Are you supposed to teach them that? Because everybody says that you have to go hide. No, I'm sure a lot of these kids went and hid. You got to teach your kids that the first thing you do when you hear gunfire is to go to a window and tell them to get out. Well, Iggy, and I said that I wasn't gonna debate people, but let's be real about this. Here in America, you're not gonna get gun control, and you could actually create all the gun control against assault rifles and stuff. This guy did it with a handgun and possibly a rifle. And I'll give you my opinion because you're never ever going to get hardcore gun control. Do I agree that there needs to be some of that? Yes. Well, I mean, Atomic Citizen, I agree with you. I mean, life is just random. It is. It just happens. You can create all the laws. Well, I mean, okay, Atomic Citizen, if you're just, I mean, I'm not like, look, you're never going to be able to stop this. You create all the laws you want to. Guess what? Criminals are not going to obey those laws. It's just not going to happen. You're not going to get rid of the Second Amendment. And like I said, this guy didn't even have an assault rifle. And by the way, reports are coming out that he killed his grandmother before he went and did this too. We got to pay more attention to mental health because no, it's not a legal problem. It's a mental health problem, Atomic Citizen. That is exactly what it is. It is a mental health problem. Because for you to do something to this extent and go and kill elementary school kids, it was a handgun and possibly a rifle, Nelly Mandingo. Nelly Mandingo asked, what type of firearm was it? It was a handgun and a rifle. And let's be honest. Let's be okay. Atomic City. What difference does it matter? Isn't it horrible? Atomic Citizen 865. Okay, you must know that it isn't the worst thing to happen in school. I know that, man. Sandy Hook killed way more people than this. But this, I mean, I don't even know why you're bringing that up. Yeah, it is expected. It does happen, but that's why I wanted to open up the phone line. So, Atomic, if you want to call in, call in. Because I think a lot of stuff through text gets lost in translation. So 407-270-3044. But this is a mental health thing. I think Gung Honus has a great point. Don't fucking rate shootings. They are all awful. That's what I'm trying to say, especially when it's a bunch of elementary school kids. Seriously. That's why I was kind of getting a little bit annoyed with Atomic Citizen. And I'm not like I'm never going to censor people on any of the platforms that I'm on. I'm just not going to do it. That's your right to say that. But come on, man. This is a tragedy. And let's stop talking about getting rid of all the guns. It's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Once again, criminals don't obey laws. This guy was, you know what? I'll come out and say it. He was insane. For you to go into an elementary school and kill a bunch of elementary kids, if you think that you go in and you shoot a bunch of people that it had something to do with it, that he had some type of motive, you can't play the race card on this one because from everything I'm hearing, it was a majority of the students were Hispanic. And this kid, the 18-year-old scumbag that did this, was Hispanic as well, too. He was. Because they're trying to tie this to the white guy up in Buffalo that did a bunch of this stuff. Yeah, that was hate, but still, for you to do that, you got to be mentally disturbed. And I think where you're going to gain ground and maybe prevent this, you got to go against mental health. You do. I mean, Atomic Citizen, it is true. I mean, the guy, he had like a bunch of racial words on his gun when he went there and did that. He was also mentally. He was mental for you. I mean, I'll say it again. The only way you're gonna like lessen this, you're never gonna be able to get rid of all of it. This is just the America we live in now. It is. Uh, Atomic Citizen. All right. You know what? You said that I'm going against my own premise, and if that's your opinion to think that way, it is. Yeah, for you to go in and kill a bunch of people, you got to be a little crazy. You have to. I think you do. And I'm not against guns. I'm a supporter of the Second Amendment, Atomic Citizen. If that's the angle that you're going or trying to go into, no. I have my concealed carry permit. I have a lot of guns, and I think it's my right. So if that's the angle you're trying to go, Atomic Citizen, and saying that I'm against guns, I'm not. I mean, Nelly Mandingo says, he brings up a great point. I could buy a car and mow down a crowd of 100 people, but I don't have mental health issues. Well, I don't get that. Atomic Citizen, just call in, buddy. I mean, this shooter had a rationale for what he did. He did. He killed his grandmother and then shot a bunch of elementary school kids and a teacher. So you're telling me this guy didn't have any mental problems? I don't buy it. And I think going and treating mental health is better than trying to get rid of guns. It's just not going to happen. Um, so Alan, Alan, Atomic Citizen, tell me what you guys think. Tell me what's going to be done. All right, cool. I mean, I would love for you to come on. Not going to get butt hurt if you put me in my place or whatever. I would love to hear from you. Oh, okay. So, Alan, I see that's the thing about reading the chat sometimes. That's why I'm horrible at texting and writing in chats because a lot of stuff gets lost in translation. Because I just don't get it. And Redbeard underscore 313 says, I think we have a society that catered to the media and he wanted to be seen. Mental health was not the issue. It was pure hate. Okay. I'll give you the Buffalo. I'll give you the Buffalo shooting that happened. Yeah. Hate most likely was hate. But let's be honest here. Redbeard. for people to hate somebody just because of their skin color. And I know that racism can be taught by parents and all that stuff. It could be taught. But isn't that a form of childhood trauma? Isn't that a part of mental abuse to teach your children how to hate? The kid didn't know any better. And I think that that falls under mental abuse. I really do think it does. And, you got to be careful how you talk about this. Alan's calling me pawpaw. At 42, am I considered a pawpaw? I'm not. I don't even have goddamn kids. I don't even understand how I could be considered a pawpaw. I'm just saying that, guys, there's only been one amendment that was overturned and then put back into place, and that was the prohibition of alcohol. And then guess what that happened? They created the organized crime, and then they turned it back around. So if you really think that they're going to overturn the Second Amendment and take away guns and stuff, it's just not going to happen. Because if you did want to take away people's guns, think of all the people that were going to die. Because my dad was one of those people. If the government would have came to take his guns, he already said that. He said he would rather die in a just downpour of bullets than give up his guns. So the death toll is going to you're going to see a lot of people dead if the government tries to take away guns. Our forefathers, they had a great idea and everything, but guess what? It's just not going to happen. And like I said, I'm a concealed carry permit holder. And say I'm in a grocery store with my mom and I got a concealed carry. Guess what? You know what I'm going to do? First thing I'm going to do is try to get out of the place first. I want to have a gun to be able to protect myself if I was ever cornered. Just because I have a gun, I'm not going to go out there and try to be a hero or anything. I'm just not going to do it. I don't want to kill anybody unless I have to. I just don't want to do it. So I just want to listen to that. Wait, hold on. No, whoa. Hold on. Hold on, said this. Iggy, can you please explain seriously? You would kill yourself for a gun? Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of people that would do that. Well, for number one, how are you going to go house to house? How many? Okay. For one, you're not going to be able to go to house to be able to take somebody's gun. It's just not going to happen. No, Nelly Mandingo asked, was there a motive for the massacre released today by the lamestream media? No, nobody is. And you know what? I will say this. When I first heard about this is what I like to do. I like to go to all of them because guess what? All the media lies. They're all slanted. None of them are fair and balanced like Fox News says that they are. But I started out at CNN. I went to Fox News because I took the conservative and sandwiched it in between the liberal media, and they all had a different take. But since it was elementary school kids, nobody was getting very, very political. Nobody was getting way political. But give them a week. Give them a week. When all the parents are notified of their elementary school kids that died in this, oh yeah, mark my words, they will go in hardcore on this politically. They will. But back to what Iggy T says. All right. Number one, there's other laws in this country that protects the government, local law enforcement to be able to go into your house and check for guns. There are so many civil liberties that just could be completely raped if you were going to go and confiscate everybody's gun. It's just not going to happen. That's why I said you're never, ever going to be able to ban guns here in the United States. It's just not going to happen. That's why I think we could cut this down a little bit more if we concentrated on mental health. Yeah, it kind of is. And look, you know what? You're right. I'm going to get into this. Let's get into a little bit of a love triangle. I know that's, I've always been bad at segues, so I'm just going to jump right into it. I'm going to call an audible. I know this is not like, this
are actively searching.
Has a lot to do with violence, but it's kind of a juicy story. It is. You know, everybody wants to pick guys for being, oh, here we go. I got him coming in. I think this might be Atomic Citizen. Hey, is this Atomic? Hello?
It sure is, Tuddle.
Hey, man, how are you, buddy? Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm doing fine. I'm just worried about your mental health there, Tuddle. Don't take this so personally, okay?
No, I'm not.
This is a situation that we're discussing.
Okay, go ahead. I really want to hear because I want to understand what you were saying because, you know, sometimes when people, you know, through text, I mean, when you agree, some things get lost in translation. And I do want to better understand what you were saying. For real.
Yeah. Mental health is just, it's a straw man's argument.
Mm-hmm.
Because mental health, as we see, is not what somebody describes as somebody else. It's more of what you think about yourself.
Okay.
So when you run into problems in life, there are certain things, certain gears that move inside you to have certain reactions. To relate it, let's talk a police officer.
Okay.
They have to have trigger responses to people's actions.
Okay.
So that kind of attitude is built within us to be instantaneous in everything that we do in our life. Because if we're not quick enough, if we're not fast enough, we're not the first one there. And that becomes a problem with a lot of people. You could call it a mental illness. To me, it's more that they didn't get what they wanted. So if we're going to attack it in a case of mental illness, we need to discuss it on a level of people's interactions. Yeah, we don't have the whole story yet, but I bet grandma told the kid no, and he went and shot her and said, fuck it, I'm going to go shoot everybody else too.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that kind of mental illness is not studied because we have it in our military. We have it in our police force. We're putting it inside our schools that teachers have to have a trigger response to a student that's acting up.
Hey, can I read a comment? Can I read a comment real quick, Atomic?
Yeah.
Country Girl _92 writes, we don't have enough help for people that suffer from mental health. Now, have you ever had a family member or have you ever dealt with any type of anxiety, mental health, PTSD, anything like that?
Well, if you talk about counseling, yeah, but that was an outside environment.
Mm-hmm.
I've been lucky enough to handle all my problems myself, that I don't need to go to somebody else to take care of my issues.
No, but okay.
If I have
can I just ask a question? Like I mean, that's your opinion and stuff. Okay. But also
hold on, you don't know what the opinion is.
Okay.
The opinion is the kid was asking for help, or the bomber or the shooter was asking for help, in a way that everybody's calling it mental illness.
Mm-hmm.
So how is it that we just let this kid go on through life? There's got to be markers in that kid's life that says, hey, he doesn't have the tools to deal with society.
All right. Now, do you also feel that, because Country Girl 92 also brings up another great point. Now, I mean, Atomic Citizen, you do know, like, I was in the hospital. I was in a mental institution for 11 days. I also grew up in an area where, as a man, if you told people that you were depressed or you weren't feeling good, that it was just toughen up. You need to toughen up, boy. And when I got to be an adult, instead of trying to treat the problem, big pharmaceutical in this country just wanted to throw a bunch of pills down my throat that had bad combinations. And I could have, look, I could have easily been this guy, but I wasn't. You know?
But I don't attribute it to mental health. I attribute it to the trials of life. Because, you know, you might call me insensitive that this is not the worst shooting. So that tells me, you know, in my own perspective, that this kid is acting out of response. He's not trying to do it to get noticed. He's not trying to reach some kind of trophy in society that he's the greatest school murderer of all.
Yeah.
So those things are mental health problems.
Yeah.
And it seems like we've got a control of it, but then we have something like this.
What do you think needs to be done?
What I'm saying is that this isn't mental health. This is a kid that's at the end of his string. He snapped. Just like a police officer does with a gun. They snap.
But I mean, how's that not mental health? I mean, snapping, I think, is a part of PTSD, not being able to handle a lot of things that end up happening.
Disagree. I think not being able to handle it is his resources, his raising.
I mean, I do agree that a lot of kids are brought up by parents that aren't as responsible as they need to be able to instill things. I think William Goff just called you Thanos. I think William Goff just called you fucking Thanos. I mean, is that what you're trying to say? Just bad parenting?
I'd like to have the solution to this. And it does require a crystal ball. Because in order to get into people's lives, you have to be able to look into their past.
Okay.
And when we do that, we can sit there and see that, hey, we were good at this, but we were bad at that. And it ends up being a maturity thing that we apply those trials and tribulations into some kind of productive activity. Not once have I ever wanted to go out and cause harm to something, you know? And I contribute that not because of my genetic makeup, not because of my culture, but because of the friends and family that I had around me.
But you know, a lot of people don't have that, right? You know, a lot of childhood trauma creates bad people.
That's where I disagree. Because if you didn't have the internet, would your life ever miss the internet? No, it wouldn't, because you never knew about it. These people don't understand that there's a greener side to the pasture, so to speak.
I mean, Keith Vina says, I mean, everything you're describing is mental health issues.
Oh, here we go to the DMS 5. That book is nothing but a busy work for doctors, so you guys can pay your money into your school. That DMS book has been changed so many times, and it's still changing today as we speak, because they want to label, oh, I want to have a gun, as you've got a mental disorder.
Yeah, but I mean, don't go ahead. I'm sorry.
That ought to be a mental disorder that you prescribe a diagnosis to everybody's reaction. There's some things that are still unexplained, and I'm tired of psychiatrists trying to explain things away when they don't have a clue. People snap. People get backed into a corner like a raccoon or a pit bull. A pit bull.
So you're saying this is fight or flight then? So you're saying this is part of fight or flight?
This is normal human instinct to react on something that happened that this kid was involved with.
So what do you think needs to be done? How do we solve this problem? Or is it just something we're going to have to deal with for the rest of our life?
Stop propping up parents, thinking that if you prop up parents with all these programs and help, that the kid will be better. No, the parent will be better because you're taking over their job of raising their children. But the child will not be better, as we can see.
All right. Well, hey, I mean, Atomic. I mean, was I right or wrong? Like, I mean, I gave my opinion and stuff, and I heard exactly what you had to say. Okay, but I mean, there's a lot. There's probably
right. You're right that we should look at the mental illness part, that somebody wants to do harm to somebody. That's probably a little bit on the DMS side that we don't want to touch, because it might explain too much for us that, hey, we've got parents out here that are raising children that are on their own, literally on their own to handle problems. You know, if we want to talk about things in school, why are the police put into school and not psychiatrists?
Well, okay, but I mean, I was a part of Generation X. I was one of those latchkey kids through a lot of part of my middle school and high school years, where my mom went back to work and I had to get off the bus. I had to go home. I had to take care of myself and stuff. So, I mean, I was still fucked up though, but there's also a lot of things that happened, not because of my parents, but some trauma that I suffered from when I was a child that came back and really fucked me up.
Yeah, but you're good now, aren't you? You're better, right?
Yeah, but I think I'm the minority though.
But the answer is in that. Do you think it was all those pills that changed your mind?
No. I think that we don't have an understanding of mental health. That our answer is because
you're right there.
Of lobbyists, a big pharmaceutical wanting to throw a bunch of pills down people's throats instead of treating the problem. I mean, I think that's a big problem.
So maybe that's a better perspective of my point. I'm not really wanting to go down the mental disability part, because it's really not defined enough to answer it. And historically, going down that road has never provided me any answers for my personal life.
I know, but I mean, different things work for different people. Like, I was overprescribed medication, but I didn't get the right person that would just let me talk to them and talk to me and just talk about things and treat the problem instead of throwing pills down my throat. Because, I mean, that's what happened to me.
Oh, yeah. I agree with you 100% there. It was probably a knee-jerk reaction by the doctors. But do you think this child was prescribed?
I think he was. I think he was. And let's not call him a child, because he just turned 18. He was a man.
Okay.
And he went to an elementary school and murdered a bunch of elementary. And I think that's why the death toll was so high, because are we getting to the point in this country we have to start teaching our elementary school students what to do if there's a mass shooting or a shooter?
Well, they taught us to duck and cover for nuclear war. So, yeah, no, we shouldn't be teaching our children to defend themselves, because our laws state that they are defenseless. So to go down the road that we need to arm children, that's That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's not the right path.
All right.
You
Hey,
know?
Atomic, I do have to go, man, but I appreciate the conversation. Okay.
Thank you, Tuddle. Thank
All right,
you.
man. See ya. All right. So, country girl, but Tuddle, do you not deal with your mental health even though you're better? Yes. Country girl, my mental health is just like dealing with my alcoholism. I'm always going to have mental issues for the rest of my life. I can't say, oh, I'm good, I'm fine. No, that's never, ever going to happen, country girl. It's just not. And I do agree with you, country girl. Treatments are different because people are different. But I also think that at the same time, okay, a lot of people, especially men, I mean, Redbeard, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. It was hateful, but okay, isn't any senseless killing of people hateful? Yeah, William Goff, 14 kids, a teacher, 14 elementary school kids. 14 elementary school kids were killed, and a teacher was killed as well, too. And I'm getting mixing reports now. But, Redbeard _313. Yeah, you're right. I think any senseless killing is hateful. It is. It really is hateful. But, I mean, you can't disagree with me that mental health is not taken seriously. It's not. No, Redbeard _313, 100%. There was nothing in that kid to make him have this hatred and anger for whatever reason. Killed his own grandmother. That's hateful, but also at the same time, it's pretty crazy, right? I mean, that's something that you would expect somebody with mental illness to do. I mean, it's just, Nelly Mandy, can't there be mental health issues and hate at the same time? Yes. But did the mental illness cause him to hate so much? So, you know what? I'm going to get into this, okay? I'm going to get into this. It's not the greatest story, but let's get into a love triangle.
Professional cyclist. This morning, U.S. Marshals are actively searching for Caitlin Armstrong.
I got to tell you, Caitlin's pretty steamy.
The 35-year-old's accused of murdering professional cyclist Mariah Wilson.
Mariah? She's wearing a bicycle helmet. She's got her hair in braids and stuff. But pretty steamy. And like these biker chicks, they're keeping things pretty tight, riding around on a bicycle. But a lot of people think that guys are the crazy ones when it comes to love, or maybe women take breakups worse than anything. I think it's a case by case theory, and this might be able to relate to what I was talking about when it came to the shooter and stuff. Yeah, Fish on J. Caitlin needs a good old-fashioned tributing. But this is crazy, man.
Who had a prior relationship with her boyfriend. Police say Armstrong has not been seen in nearly 2 weeks and has even disappeared online, deleting her social media profiles just days.
Man, look at this. Woof. Nelly, think Bald Eagle Jones or Red Carpet? I don't know. When I was younger, I would always say Bald Eagle Jones, but I want to keep the Red Carpet. If the chick's got a red carpet, and I'm just being honest, doesn't it make you feel more important that you're walking down the red carpet and stuff? I think it does. It just is. What up, Stephen Duncan? Stephen Duncan says that he needs an update. Earlier, we were talking about the mass shooting that happened in Texas. 14 elementary school kids were shot and killed, as well as a teacher. But I'm hearing other reports there could be up to 18. So, yeah, good times here in the United States.
After the murder.
Will you advise EMS and fire to come to the alley, please?
On May 11th, the 25-year-old Wilson was fatally.
Yeah, I mean, that's not the greatest picture. Man, well, you know what? I shouldn't talk ill will of the dead.
Shot at this house in Austin. Police say neighbors heard someone running out of the home.
My dad was in the garage when he thinks he heard.
All right. Is this the real life Jackie Moon from what was the movie that Will Ferrell did when he was a basketball player? I think it was Jackie Moon. I mean, this guy's got the white boy fro going on. So Steve Duncan's telling me it's 18 kids, 3 adults. Man, holy crap. Oh, yeah, dark match. Dark match, I need to give you a call after the show. I mean, there's going to be a lot of people throwing out conspiracy theories about this shooting in outside of San Antonio. You know that's going to happen. I would see, because I heard it on the liberal news media. Huh.
The person who did it flee on their bike.
Police later found Wilson's bike down the street, concealed in thick bamboo. Investigators say the pro cyclist had just returned from meeting.
Steve Duncan says he looks like he should play for Tropic Thunder. You know what? I am going to say it. I'm definitely going to say it. I bet this guy had something to do with this, because guess what? Come to find out, he paid for the gun. He bought the gun that killed this old lady, and he gave it to the crazy See, there's going to be some stuff that comes out about this. Nelly Mandingo super chatting $5. Don't forget, here, you know what? I'll put that banner up there so everybody can see it. If you guys want to help me out financially, if you want to super chat, you can do that. You can also cheer some bits. If you don't want to do that, you can go to my PayPal, paypal.me/Tuddle on the radio.
With Colin Strickland, a fellow cyclist and the boyfriend of the now missing murder suspect.
I mean, after Lance Armstrong. Oh, thank you. Redbeard. I subbed up, brother. Yeah, you did. Thank you, Redbeard. I don't get a lot of the alerts. Like, I see when people cheer bits and stuff, but I don't see when people sub. I got to find another platform, because I'm using StreamYard and everything. So I really don't know. But I haven't trusted any of these cyclists. I mean, who really could trust a male cyclist after Lance Armstrong? I know a lot of people want to say, oh, he raised a lot of money for cancer. Yeah, well, he was doping the whole time. Everybody thought he was infallible, kind of like a Tim Tebow. And if I'm being honest, I wouldn't be shocked. And I am the biggest supporter of the Florida Gators. And I wouldn't be shocked if something came out about Tim Tebow.
Strickland, who has not been accused of any wrongdoing and has been cooperating with police, told authorities the two had gone swimming and out to dinner. In an affidavit, Strickland also told police he was in a romantic relationship with Wilson for a couple of weeks last October, while on a break from Armstrong. And the two were recently working.
Wait, Armstrong? Lance Armstrong? Oh, my God. I just picked that up. Holy shit.
Working together professionally. According to that same document, he admitted he lied to Armstrong about seeing Wilson the night that she was murdered. Strickland also told police he bought Armstrong a gun like this one.
Does anybody else seem to have want to throw up any red flags? Because he bought the chick that is most likely the murderer that has completely just disappeared. She has deleted herself off of social media and everything, and he bought her the gun.
Several months ago, days after the killing, a weapon was recovered and tested by investigators who say the potential that the same firearm was involved in the murder is significant.
All right, so it's his gun, right? Didn't he buy it? He bought it for her. And now this woman's on the run. They tested it. Same gun that the guy was, the potential that the same firearm was involved is significant. That seems like it pretty much was.
Happy birthday to you. Stunned by the sudden loss of one of their own, fellow cyclists are paying tribute to Wilson, honoring her with the hashtag.
Yeah, redheads do have a temper.
Ride Like Mo, as friends remember Anna Mariah Wilson as a bright shining star. And this morning, Strickland is not returning our request for comment, but in a...
By the way, this same guy is actually the same guy that's out reporting for NBC News. He was just on with Lester Holt about the shooting. Dark Match Steve, just sub. I'll sub for you any day, Daddy. Oh, God. You know what? If I'm going to go gay for the stay while I'm on the internet, or, gay for play, whatever rhymes with gay, if I had to choose anybody, definitely Dark Match Steve.
Statement Friday to the Austin American-Statesman, he did say he was reeling from grieving Mo Wilson's death and the facts that have emerged during this ongoing investigation.
Now, Atomic Citizen is calling me Daddy Tuds. All right. I also did want to get to this story. Now, I also think cancel culture has gotten ridiculous.
People think it's funny.
These images posted to social media have
I gotta talk
probably
about
makes
this immediately. I'm not saying that there is not racism that goes on with high school kids, but these are kids just being kids. I guess this cheer team, this stunt team that they have at this high school, their mascot was a mannequin head, but the mannequin head happened to be African American. Yeah, Country Girl, he will now forever be Daddy Tuds. But here, let this story play out. And I really think, I don't see anything wrong with this. I really, really don't. And I know a lot of people are probably going to call me a conservative, racist asshole or whatever. I don't have anything. I don't think this is bad.
Fortunately, a lot of people think it's funny.
And this look at this chick. This is some over-the-top granola hippie chick that is just wanting to be on the news and stuff. She doesn't give a damn.
Fortunately, a lot of people think it's funny.
These images posted to social media have proven anything but funny for the California high school community in San Ramon.
It probably makes a lot of people uncomfortable.
It is a black mannequin head. All right, guys. If you look just to the left, I don't know if it's left or right, but do you see the mannequin head that has the glasses on? Everybody's calling this racist. Now, let's be honest. If you look at this mannequin head, here, let me see if I can get
Photos show what appear to be the nearly all-white members of the Cal High stunt team, grinning and...
All right, so look at this. Look at this picture, okay? They have to black, or, not black, but they got to pixelate the high school students' pictures, their faces, because they're minors. But what is racist about this black mannequin head? It's not a caricature. It doesn't have the stereotypical features that caricatures of African Americans have had. Let's be honest. White nose, white lips, white eyes, white everything. It just happens to have dark skin. And by the way, if I'm just being honest, the hair on that mannequin has white girl hair. What is racist about this? Is it because it is a decapitated mannequin head? Now, there might be some, there might be some stuff that we don't know about, some stuff that happened or they did with this. But am I off on this? Am I off on this? I mean, tell me if I'm being insensitive by saying this, but I don't find what is racist about this, guys. Please help me understand. I mean, this could be just like did I agree with everything that Atomic Citizen had to say? No, I didn't. So if you want to call in and tell me why this is 407-270-3044. Help me understand because I don't get it.
Posing alongside a mannequin head, which you can see is black.
At first, I was kind of like...
Oh, by the way, I'll bring this up. I briefly watched this story. Do you realize now the girl on the left there, she might be Hispanic, but everybody I think that they interview in this story is Caucasian. Holy crap.
Like, what? This makes absolutely no sense.
The head allegedly being used as the team's unofficial mascot.
Wait, okay. Do you think a racist team, a racist group would want to have a racist mascot represent? No way.
Instead of the school's real mascot, the grizzly bear. The incident leaving some students with questions.
What are we going to do about it instead
another whitey
of getting everyone to see it? Maybe that's part of it, but I don't see much action being taken, and it's not the first time that something.
By the way, they're blurring out a lot of stuff in the background. I can still tell it's a very white school.
Like this has happened.
According to the San Ramon Unified Valley School District Superintendent, the investigation into this incident is ongoing, and he plans to meet with all parties involved. He did acknowledge the need for more training.
Most of our work has
another white dude
happened with our administrators. And so going forward, we are going to spend more time supporting our staff, not only to interrupt any issues of discrimination.
It is a mannequin head. There are no racial type caricature type features that this mannequin head had. And I've seen nothing but a bunch of white people talking about this.
To educate so our students and community better understand its impacts.
Some students hope this was a case of ignorance instead of ill intent.
I don't think their purpose...
White, part white on the left.
Doing it to be racist, because like our school definitely preaches equality, and we need to accept people and understand that.
Man, we're doomed. We are so doomed in this country.
That our actions can have consequences, even if that wasn't our intent.
The district says they were made aware of the posts on Saturday, and this young man believes parents did their part in alerting the school, but more needs to be done at home.
But I'm curious as to what.
Does anybody else see a problem with this? If I was watching this, I thought this would be a Saturday Night Live skit. Keith, Keith Venus says, this is what happens when we cut out funding for programs designed for mental health. Just do your research on how much funding was cut in those type of programs over the past 5 years. I'm just saying, you know what? I thought this was going to be like a funny ass story, but it's actually depressing me even more.
They're like telling their kids, because that's really the most important part. It's the kids that can help.
Once again, look at the mannequin head. It's got white girl hair. Doesn't have the features that, in my opinion, well, maybe
Stop this from happening again.
The pages belonging to the unofficial stunt team where the images were posted appear to have been taken down. In San Ramon, Dion Lim, ABC.
Well, you want to be honest, this is a bunch of like sensitive liberals. I got to always back up myself when it comes to that. I am not a liberal. I'm not a conservative. But Jesus Christ almighty. Man, oh man. We're freaking out about mannequin heads. I mean, come on. Okay, here, I'll tell you the truth. If this would have been in the South and they would have gotten a mannequin head, guess what they would have done with the mannequin head? Oh, it would have definitely been racist. No, this is a bunch of stuck-up, rich, California, white, Caucasian, little snotty-nosed kids. If this would have happened in the South, you definitely would have been like, okay, yeah, that mannequin head's racist, because guess what we would have done in the South? You would have known that it was racist.
Wrapped up a one.
Now, would I have been a part of it? I shouldn't have said we, but I am in the South. So you know what? I think I can say we. I did see this. I think this is a genius ass idea, but you can't tell me that this invention was not invented by a bunch of stoners, because they got this thing called Tasty Tape, which is an edible tape to be able to hold your burritos together. And you know, the people that invented this, they did some bong hits. They did some straight up wax. They did some dabs. Because this is a very genius idea that only a pothead could have thought of.
Hopkins students just wrapped up a one-of-a-kind design project. It's called Tasty Tape. The edible adhesive is made of food-grade material.
All right. Number one, I've never had a problem eating a burrito. Now, some places don't wrap they overstuff the burritos and then it's just pouring out and stuff.
An organic adhesive. It makes sure that the ingredients inside your favorite wrap or stuffed chicken, burrito, whatever.
Country Girl says, good Lord, I thought they said titty tape at a quick glance, not paying attention. Yeah, look, I'm a little dyslexic and I do mix up letters and I do misread things all the time. But I mean, Tasty Tape is pretty good. Man.
Stays tucked tightly inside during cooking and when you eat it. The team tested a bunch of ingredients and combinations before settling on the final recipe.
Look at that. Blue tape, Tasty Tape. All right. So I think the first, because come on, a lot of the hippies, a lot of the hipsters love Chipotle. You know, Chipotle is they're going to be the first one to buy this. They're going to be the first one to buy this, and you're going to get Tasty Tape all over the place, and they're going to be like, yeah, dude, I can be high, and I ain't got to worry about my burrito busting open because of the Tasty Tape.
The tape is clear, but the team added blue dye in some of this video to better illustrate its use. They say it's safe and has a strength.
Oh, yeah, a bunch of dirty, hippie white chicks. You know, none of these chicks are wearing deodorant. They probably got underarm hair. They probably have a soundtrack by Guns N' Roses, Welcome to the Jungle, every time they pull their panties down. Hair looks greasy. I know my hair doesn't look that great. My hair's getting to that point where it's getting out of control, and I'm just letting it go, letting it fall where it lies.
To hold a fat burrito together. The girl who...
Oh, you know this chick gets nasty. Look how flat her hair is, too. That's why I said it looked a little greasy. Am I right? Oh, thank you, Redbeard 3130. Yeah, it is a little crazy today. I just let it do its own thing. But man, like country girl, like I'm a dude, so I really don't know about girls' hair. Doesn't that hair look a little flat, like it hasn't been washed? And I also know, like, you're not supposed to really wash your hair every single day because it removes all the essential oils and natural oils that you can get. But, like, I mean, you shouldn't go more than maybe 2 or 3 days. But I think more and more women are kind of going without washing it every single day. And I don't have a problem with that. But Country Girl says she's like on day 10 hair. I mean, it looks pretty flat. I mean, yeah, I mean, dry shampoo. I mean, I Miss Ned says hair looks clean, just very fine. I mean, yeah. Redbeard, I hope they bring the bush back, Tuds. Yeah. Look, I don't have any problem with it. You should be one of those guys.
Came up with the idea, one of our team members, Erin.
And we were high as fuck, man.
She was eating her burrito one day, and
she just did the biggest bong rip.
And it was during the beginning of the semester when we had to come up with these ideas, and it was just everywhere. And she was like, you know what? Like, this is a problem to be fixed.
Yeah. Did you hear that one chick? And look, I mean, get some pants that fit you, man. Let me look at that chick right there. Hold on. Look at what that chick did. She goes, yeah.
The makers of the edible
high as hell. And you know what? These are the type of chicks I want to hang out with.
Tape are applying for a patent. We will be waiting for that update, and they aren't disclosing their secret formula just yet.
All right. I'm going to get out of here, guys. I want to thank everybody that checked out tonight's show. If you're listening to the audio version of this, because I take the video, I take the audio from it, and then I post it up live, well, not live, on demand on my numerous platforms, audio platforms, iHeartRadio, Spotify, iTunes, 315 Live, all those. So do yourself a favor, go check it out because the audio is pretty goddamn good for that. Anyways, I'm going to get out of here, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed tonight's show. Hopefully you guys stay safe, and I will talk to you tomorrow.